Good evening, my friends. In response to Florida's Parental Rights in Education bill, or as the progressive left calls it, Don't Say Gay bill, Disney commits to making 50% of their characters LGBTQ by the end of 2022. The new world of digital currency has been hacked. This was the largest digital coin heist in history. What do you know about killer switchable drones? Well, I can tell you the Biden administration has decided to send them to Ukraine. Okay, my friends, let's take a closer look together. Welcome to Veracity. I'm your host, Michael Lewis. Now, before we get started, we have to acknowledge today's sponsors. Our sponsors for today's episode are the amazing members of the Veracity community on Locals. Thanks to your contributions, I will be able to hire an amazing young person to help me grow this channel. And if you want to become a member and help contribute to the show, then click the link in the description and become a member and join me on the mission to deliver truthful news. The famous Axi Infinity game has revolutionized the gaming industry by helping users make thousands of dollars through buying and selling of NFT-based digital assets in the game. However, the company was trapped in one of the biggest hacks in history after realizing a gigantic amount of money, $625 million, was stolen from its system. The worst part is that the company didn't even know until 6 days after the heist was committed. According to the representatives of the Ronin blockchain platform that powers the entire game, the company is secured with 9 superior digital locks of different kinds. And if anyone wants to get his hands on the cryptocurrency transactions of the game, they must pass through at least 5 of the 9 locks. Surprisingly, the hackers not only managed to pass through all the 5 locks, but also managed to lay their hands on 173,600 Ethereum tokens and $25.5 million worth of USD coins. However, Ronin also said that they are closely working with cybersecurity officials, forensic cryptographers, and investors to recover or reimburse all stolen funds and to reassure that the game is safe to play now. Several activists are now claiming that the anonymous nature of the blockchain is making it difficult to track the user's address, thus creating more room for hackers to jump in and do the same thing. In December 2021, around $200 million of currency was stolen by hackers from the Bitmart trading platform of cryptocurrency. And in August 2021, around $600 million were stolen from the Poly network that allows blockchain to work together. Astonishingly, the money was returned by the hackers. Nevertheless, cybersecurity experts claim that selling cryptocurrency is only one part of the game. The real problem is faced when they try to convert this enormous amount of crypto money into the country's real currency, because as soon as they try to convert it, they will catch the attention of the investigators who are continuously on the lookout for suspicious transactions. Now, last month, a New York-based couple was arrested for money laundering when they tried to convert billions of dollars that traced back to the hack conducted in 2016. With Russian attacks from all sides of the country, Ukraine's President Zelensky repeatedly asked for more weapons from other countries to give a befitting reply to Russia with its small but extremely strong army. Here, take a look.
A visibly irritated Ukrainian president demanded late on Saturday that Western nations give him tanks, planes, and missile defense systems. Volodymyr Zelensky said he wanted only a fraction of military hardware held in stockpiles and questioned whether NATO was scared of Moscow.
Only 1% of all NATO aircraft and 1% of all NATO tanks. 1%. We did not ask for more, and we do not ask for more. And we have already been waiting for 31 days. So who is running the Euro-Atlantic community? Is it still Moscow because of threats?
The US government has now decided to send around 100 killer Switchblade drones to Ukraine that are both smart and more dangerous than any other drone weapon in the past. The Assistant Secretary of Defense for International Security Affairs, Celeste Wallander, has told the House Armed Services Committee, "We have committed 100 Switchblade tactical unmanned aerial systems to be delivered in the most recent package of the presidential drawdown. We have heard the Ukrainians, and we take that request very seriously." Developed and designed by a Virginia-based company called AeroVironment, the Switchblade drone consists of 2 types, Switchblade 300 in Switchblade 600. The Switchblade 300 weighs only 6 pounds and can be controlled at around 6 miles with a powerful GPS tracker. The drone also consists of an HD camera that can help identify the target and hit it with an explosive equal to a 40mm grenade. According to the company, this model is used for targeting light vehicles and a group of soldiers, whereas the Switchblade 600 weighs around 50 pounds and can be controlled at around 25 miles with a camera and GPS tracker. According to the company, it can destroy heavily armored vehicles like tanks. As the Ukrainian soldiers successfully used U.S. Javelin anti-tank systems, the U.S. officials believe that these Switchblade drones will further help Ukraine keep Russian forces away from capturing any major city. However, the Pentagon has not revealed when and which of these drones will be delivered to Ukraine. After Florida State Governor Ron Desantis signed the Parental Rights in Education bill, also being referred to as the Don't Say Gay bill, into law, Disney has now decided that not teaching sexual ideologies to kids is wrong, and has responded to the bill by promising 50% of their characters will be from LGBTQ or racial minorities by the end of this year. This gigantic move is part of a campaign initiated by Disney called Reimagine Tomorrow, or what concerned parents are saying is gender and sexual indoctrination. However, Disney's CEO Bob Chapek accepts that the employees are frustrated and said after noticing the company's late response to Florida's bill and the LGBTQ upcoming characters, Bob said, "You needed me to be a stronger ally in the fight for equal rights, and I let you down. I'm sorry." A group of Disney employees based in California even marched to protest against the bill by wearing rainbow colors, holding pro-LGBTQ slogans, and shouting, "Say gay." After hearing about the company's goal to strike down the bill in court, the governor of Florida, Ron Desantis, has expressed greater anger by stating, "The company has crossed the line. This state is governed by the interest of the people of the state of Florida. It is not based on the demands of California corporate executives. They do not run the state. They do not control the state."
For them to say that them as a California-based company are going to work to take those California values and overturn a law that was duly enacted and, as you said, supported by a strong majority of Floridians, they don't run this state. They will never run this state as long as I'm governor.
Carrie Burke, the Disney General Entertainment Content President, is surprised to notice only a few leading gay characters like Scar in Lion King and Ursula in The Little Mermaid. She says, "We have many LGBTQ characters in our stories, and yet we do not have enough leads in narratives in which gay characters get to be characters and not have to be gay stories. Moreover, that has been very eye-opening to me." This loophole has now encouraged the executives and producers of the Walt Disney Company to introduce leading characters in the shows after conducting an internal meeting recently. Here is a leaked video from Disney's internal meeting of a producer explaining her agenda to implement queer ideology into your children's content. Take a look.
It's like, I love Disney's content. I grew up watching, all of the classics. They have been a huge, informative part of my life. But at the same time, I worked at small studios most of my career, and I'd heard, you hear whispers. I'd heard things like, oh, they won't let you show this at a Disney show. And I'm like, okay. So I was a little sus when I started. But then my experience was bafflingly the opposite of what I had heard on my little pocket of Proud Family Disney TVA. The showrunners were super welcoming. Meredith Roberts and our leadership over there has been so welcoming to my not at all secret gay agenda. And so I feel like I felt like it was, maybe it was that way in the past, but I guess something must have happened in the last they are turning it around, they're going hard. And then all that momentum that I felt, that sense of, I don't have to be afraid to let's have these two characters kiss. Let's in the background, I was just wherever I could, just basically adding queerness to if you see anything queer in the show, I'm Proud Family. But I just was no one would stop me, and no one was trying to stop me.
The company has also changed all the greetings at its theme parks from "ladies and gentlemen," "boys and girls," to "hello everyone," or "hello friends." Former President Donald Trump remarked on Tuesday that if Republicans win control of the House of Representatives in this year's midterm elections, he has no interest in becoming the Speaker of the House. No, I think that's not something I wanted. A lot of people bring it up. It's brought up all the time. No, it's not something I want to do. I want to look at what's happening, and then we will be doing something else. Trump said on Tuesday during an interview with John Solomon and Amanda Head of Just the News. Trump's statements came after Representative Matt Gaetz declared at Trump's campaign in Commerce, Georgia on Saturday that if Republicans retake control of the House, he would nominate the former president to be Speaker of the House. Give us the ability to fire Nancy Pelosi, take back the majority, impeach Joe Biden, and I'm going to nominate Donald Trump for Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, the Florida Republican said, leading to a round of applause.
Give us the ability to fire Nancy Pelosi, take back the majority, impeach Joe Biden, and I'm going to nominate Donald Trump for Speaker of the United States House of Representatives.
The Constitution doesn't bar someone who is not a member of Congress from being elected as Speaker of the House. However, in U.S. history, House Speakers have always first been elected to the House. President Trump remains a heavy favorite to win the GOP nomination for president in 2024, which would likely explain his reluctance to take the position in the House. Representative John Katko, a leading member of the House Committee on Homeland Security and the chairman of the Republican American Security Task Force, indicated that the committee's short-term purpose is to get a policy platform to convey to citizens during the summer election period of 2022. The goal is to continue to coalesce that feedback into tangible work product, and we have some. We have more to go, and then by August, have a real good blueprint. Katko told reporters at the GOP retreat held in Florida on March 25th. There are 3 things that we're responsible for developing a legislative agenda for. Number 1 is to secure our border. Number 2 is to strengthen our cyber defense. And number 3 is to give back to law enforcement officers their ability to do their job effectively, said Katko. Republicans will focus on implementing different measures to secure the border. The major focus when it comes to border is to get the Remain in Mexico policy codified, preventing Democrats from revoking it in the future. Katko also said, according to intelligence reports, if the Remain in Mexico policy were to end, a massive influx of illegal immigrants would flood the border. There are estimates as many as 1.7 million people are awaiting for the Remain in Mexico policy to sunset, the Title 42 months of sunset. They're all coming. That's the intel we're getting. A second focus for the Security Task Force is to formulate a strategy for minimizing the impacts of the Democrats' anti-police actions and rhetoric. Katko noted that he'd been traveling around talking with law enforcement in each city that now supports and embraces the defunding the police policies is suffering an escalation in violence. Katko said, I went to Portland, Oregon 5 weeks after George Floyd's murder. They cut their police force by 10% and eliminated a violent crime unit. The result of that was a 566% increase in murders in 1 year. In the immediate wake of the rapidly rising price of gas and the sanctions imposed against Russia, Senator Rand Paul suggests that it might be worthwhile to investigate whether the Russian government is helping green alarmists who advocate against initiatives that could increase overall production in the United States. According to a 2019 statement from the U.S. Justice Department, an almost 2-year examination into the suspected Russian interference in the election cost approximately $32 million overall. In conclusion, Special Counsel Robert Mueller and their staff of investigators discovered no evidence of corruption or conspiracy involving Trump and his administration and Russians. I don't have any information. I don't know if it's true, Paul continued. But can you imagine there's probably more truth to that than any of the BS they put forward about trying to connect the Russians to the Trump campaign. When asked about rising gas prices, which continue to break new records at the national, state, and local level, Paul said this issue is just a part of the inflationary effects of the Biden administration's massive spending. Inflation is not complicated, he said. What happens is we spend money we don't have, and the Federal Reserve prints money to buy the debt. When they flood the country with all this new money, it's not free when we pass out free stuff and checks to everybody. we're paying the penalty now. And that's it for today, my friends. Don't forget to like and share, and most importantly, join our membership site and support the mission to deliver truthful information. I'd rather depend on the generosity of you, people I can trust, than ever be dependent on YouTube again. I can't say it enough. It's great to be back with all of you, and I'll see you next time.